10 years ago, I happened upon this image. I was getting my master's degree and doing research, and I just, you know how it is. You need a break. And surfing the web, and I hit this guy's site, Bud Cadell, and this Venn diagram was called How to Be Happy in Business. And I looked at this, and all the research I'd been doing had dealt with motivation. And I'd recently switched my focus of my master's degree from motivation and engagement to simply intrinsic motivation. What are we driven to do naturally, and how can we tap into that? And I looked at this, and a light went off. And I immediately emailed this guy and said, hey, I've got an idea. And I worked up a little mock-up of how I wanted to modify his Venn diagram. And he wrote me back the next day and said, yeah, that's great. Just, give me attribution. So Bud Cadell, and I would link you to the page, but he has deleted this blog post. But if you look up Bud Cadell, he's a businessman. He does stuff. And I liked this, but I didn't like the no. I wanted to modify it for you guys. What we can be paid to do, what we want to do, and what we do well. That intersection, how to be happy in business. Well, I'm dealing with school, so I always twist these things back to education. And there's an educational researcher named Vygotsky, and he's got the zone of proximal development. And it's that idea that you make things just a little harder, a little more difficult. You scaffold the experience, and you help kids continue to improve. So here's what I came up with. This, what I want you to do, the teacher thing. For a lot of teachers, this is the whole class. Here's what you're going to do. What you want to do is not part of the equation. And what you do well, And so this and Zim is what I called the zone of intrinsic motivation. And I thought it was original, and I searched through research papers. There's these libraries you can search through, and there was one paper out of thousands, tens of thousands, that used the phrase zone of intrinsic motivation. So I wasn't the first human being to come up with this in regards to educational research. But I still love it. This is where I want you to go. Look, I want you to do a lot of things, but I have told you I want to give you choice. Scott, I just want to play video games all day. That's over here somewhere. That's nowhere near what I want you to do. So, you're interested in video games? Well, how about we've got, our gamification system. How can we improve it? You can do game design. You can learn how to code. There's all kinds of things that you can leverage what you want to do and find a way to either enter my circle or help me expand the parameters of my circle. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's add that to the class. Computer science and code never used to be part of the Mac Lab, and now, I've got kids doing code every single year. So this is good. I want to code. Yeah, well, you don't know how to code, so it's not what you know what to do well. You got to learn how to extend that. You got to work hard. You got to act on it. I'm going to give you room. Yeah. Leverage that. Sure, I'll let you do that. You need to show progress, and we'll talk more about that. But the idea that all three of these things play into this classroom, and what I've been telling you back here on the map, in the PLE section, I want you to have choices. I want you to be happy. You get it? I want you to succeed. So I want you to find this zone of intrinsic motivation. And for some of you, it's not going to happen because you're not engaged. I understand. This is an invitation for the students who want to get something extra out of this class. Just saying. All right, you guys, it's a Friday, so this weekend, please, please, please do something to make the world a better place. You know, even if it's just picking up your dirty clothes and taking out the garbage and being nice to your family. You know, that helps make their world a better place. And these things cascade. And, you know, every good deed begets another. Love you guys. See you next Monday.